Inside centre, the number 12, we've got David Kriel here from the Vodacom Bulls. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Katua. Lovely to be here.
Episode 12 for number 12.
100%.
You knew that all along, eh?
No, I got that one just now. That's good.
This is 1 to 15, made just for you by BrightRock. We've teamed up with the Vodacom Bulls to bring you all the details on what exactly rugby players do. All right, we're talking about your position today, one you've been thriving in, and it seems like you enjoy it a lot. Tell me, what is inside centre? Are you in the centre of the field? What does it mean?
Yeah, I think every player has his own specific reasons of what inside centre means. But for me personally, it's filling the second general role behind the fly-off. Communication on attack and defense is both very critical for an inside centre. And then obviously it's a much more physical position. I think it's the most physical position in the backs. Every weekend, you may your skouers unpak because there is going to be some collisions. But like I said, there's various reasons player to player what 12 is. But for me, it's mainly about communication and especially work rate.
So you also, when you were saying physical part, you were smiling. Do you enjoy, you chomp at the bits for that, eh?
From time to time. It depends on the week's recovery. But yeah, whenever my body's fresh, like I enjoy the physical aspect of the game. I mean, that's a huge part of the game. So if you don't like it, I think you should get another job. The physical part of the game, I must say, I really enjoy.
Okay, so if you can explain to us, someone's not seen where you stand on the field. Could you explain to us where exactly you stand? If we're looking as a fan from the stands, where are you standing? And is it always at that one spot?
No, not always.
Okay, interesting.
Not always, but most of the times, especially from first phase play, whether there's a scrum or a line-out, the inside centre you'll find basically in the centre of the field. So yeah.
I was right. In the centre.
In the centres.
So you said every inside centre sort of makes it their own, right? As their own definition. And you said your division is communication and work rate. Does it change ever depending on your opponent?
I think it does. Yeah, no, it does. Because week in, week out, you can play against different kinds of builds of inside centres. You can look at Andre Esterhuizen, who's obviously a big physical ball carrier. And then other weekends, you can play against the Henry Slade, who's a much more leaner build, but much faster and has a kicking game as well. So yeah, I think week in, week out depends on who you're playing, how they're using their centres, and that's how you have to adjust your game accordingly.
So basically an inside centre doesn't have to have a specific look, right? So like we know scrummies are short. Or the front row is gebou.
Yeah.
Like so, and I mean Andre Esterhuizen's differently built to you or Henry Slade. So does that depend on the team and what they want to select for that position?
I think it comes down to skill set. Whatever's needed for the weekend, that's probably the guy who's going to play. It depends on how they want to use their 12, if they want them to be a momentum carrier or more like a distributor. I think it just depends on what the head coach wants for that weekend.
So typically, what would the coach want from you?
I back my work rate. I believe I'm a very fit and skillful player, so obviously the distribution skills comes into that, and it depends also on game IQ. I feel like I've got a good mind for the game, so I can see space where there is, and obviously learning a lot from the guys here, especially names like Vali Leroux, looking at space, playing the right options. So that's what I say I'm at when I'm playing 12. So yeah.
Are inside centres allowed to pass the ball?
Yeah, they are. They are.
Where does that stereotype come from then?
I have no idea, but I'm not a 12 that doesn't pass, so I don't know what people are talking about. So.
Because there's a saying that goes around that 12 won't even pass the salt.
Not me.
Okay, so yeah, you're not selfish there.
Yeah, actually, seker ook aanpassen.
Okay, we love that. We love that, sharing is caring. Could you cover any other position?
Yeah, I can. It's actually a funny story. Started my rugby career in primary school in the Fords actually. Was an 8-man and 7 flanker.
Jeez, probably Lustria there.
Yeah, but then I started to stretch and then started to get skinny. But luckily the pace was there, so that's when I moved to fullback. Played fullback for basically my entire high school year. With some occasions I was playing 12 and 13. Coming into after school, played 15 again in my under 19 year, and then 13 again, just a little bit of 13. And then when I made the move to the Bulls, also started out as a fullback, but was used more on the wing, then to fullback, and then at the later stage again to the wing. And then I think it's only the past two and a half seasons when I really came into the inside centre position and featuring a lot outside as well. So,
yeah, so I wanted to ask that difference between inside and outside. How do you approach it differently?
Week in, week out, I try to like approach my games the same with the same mentality, even if I play 12 or 13 or even wing. But obviously there is differences to the positions. Both positions has their own pros and cons. Where 12, I feel you're a lot more involved in attack, second general role to the 10, so you have a huge impact on the game plan and how it's run. Whereas 13, I think what I enjoy most is you get the opportunity to make defensive reads, quite like a big brain position, if I can put it like that. But obviously at 13, on attacking wise, you also have a lot more space to work with than at 12, where it's a lot more physical front up bash incidences. So
you get the best of both worlds. The fact that you can do 13 and 12. Okay.
Yeah, you get the best of both worlds, I must say. Yeah.
What do you think is your skill sets that you are good in on match day? Like you said, rugby IQ, right? And you said your work rate is high. Anything else that you think distinguishes you differently to other people that can play centres?
I also back my kicking game. I've been working quite a lot to it and have got some opportunities this season actually to kick at goal. If you can score points with your boot, then why not? That's how I approach it as well. So quite back my kicking game as well. And then, like you mentioned, also work rate always to try and be present wherever the flow of the game is going. And like my rugby IQ, the distribution skills and just the reading of the game, I enjoy quite a lot.
I mean, we had Buta talk to us about the fly-off position. He's obviously the main general, eh? You're the second general, technically. But how important is that relationship between the fly-off and the inside centre?
It's actually very important. Fly-off is actually like the quarterback in NFL. So, they have to remember the plays. They have to remember where to call it and when to call it. Sometimes when the emotion of the game or the heat of the game gets to their heads, it's very good actually to have a 9 or even a 12 to calm the 10 down and just talk about the play and just make them remember about the game plan and
like ground them almost.
It's very important to have a good relationship, and I think that chemistry between the 10 and the 12 is crucial for a team. If the 12 knows his stuff, then the 10 won't slip up.
Okay, copy that. You've played quite a few positions. Anything else you might be curious about? Any other position on the field? Forwards or backs?
Well, I have jumped in the lineout.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach Andries Becker has used me in the lineout to jump, but
how was that?
It's very high off the ground. Preferably, I won't want to be in the mauls or the scrums.
Okay, so that's off.
No, they grew up by being forwards. I'm happy I grew up to be a back, so I'm very happy about that.
Well, and so the gulf between forwards and backs, it just gets bigger.
100%. 100%.
Okay, you just talked about your skill sets, and now I want to hear it from Andre as well. Strength and conditioning coach, Vodacom Bulls. We've got inside centre that's also played outside centre. What are we looking at when we go into the gym with an inside centre?
Very physical. He has to be able to take the hits and to get over the advantage line if needed. With David, luckily, he's fast and he's big and he's strong, so that helps a lot.
When you say take the hits, how do you simulate that in training?
In training or in the gym?
Or in the gym, yeah.
In the gym, it's more packing on muscle on his upper body, getting him as strong as possible. And then in the training session, that happens by itself. So, but he's luckily good. He knows how to use his feet and to withstand the forces.
So in gym, what would you be doing? Deadlifts?
Bicep curls.
Bicep curls. Bicep curls.
There's a whole variety of exercises, especially like power training, speed training. But I must say one that helps me or that I feel good with explosivity is an ankle. Usually start.
Good answer. What is that?
Gaan coach hulle wys.
No, you can show them.
No, it's like it's basically you take a barbell on the ground, just slowly pull up to about your knees, and then just explode with your glutes.
Yes.
And then just get under the bar. So
all the way up, or is it just you leave it?
No, you catch it up here.
And not go all the way.
Yeah, and then you just extend your legs or explode up.
Why do you like that? Do you feel the power?
I feel very explosive when I do that. So yeah, I think it's good for speed training. Speed training and acceleration.
What do you think there?
No, it's true, because it teaches you how to handle the load and you get underneath it, and so you absorb all the force that comes through your body, especially when you have to tackle somebody, a big forward run. They normally run into the 12 channel, so if he can then stop that forward, that's what it helped him for.
And that's strength. So strength is a big one. What's some of the other ones, skill sets or work-ons?
David can interchange between 12, 13, 15 and wing. So he's got all the skill sets to do that. So we try and do it with him he does a lot of footwork, speed work, and agility, because that makes him special, that he can interchange between different positions.
You come in with knowing the knowledge that a player can cover or play multiple positions. It's not necessarily position-specific you're training, it's more player-specific you're training.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially for David. But he's also one of our highest loaders in the gym and on the field.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
He normally covers about between, you must help me if I'm wrong, but between 18 and 25 Ks in a week. So he runs quite a lot, and during a game he'll probably cover close to 7 kilometers in a game. His work rate is exceptional.
In a game? Does your fitness watch say that? Or does Coach Andre tell you? He's your fitness watch.
We've got GPS spots because I don't think you can play with
No,
your
you
fitness watch. So.
No, he's very fit.
Okay, and you just monitor and you're like, yeah, see, David's going today.
Yeah, you actually have to pull him back a little bit. He goes too much.
And how does that recovery look like then?
For David,
Ice baths.
Someone that does 7 kilometers in a game.
yeah, he needs to do a lot of ice baths, nutrition, protein shake after game. Sleep is probably the most important one of the lot.
Probably your favorite one. No.
No, I do enjoy my sleep. Do enjoy my sleep, and from time to time a sauna. But I don't like ice baths.
Who does? Who does? Who does? Niemand. Coach,
Yeah.
thank you, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we play the bounce. Got 3 random questions coming your way.
All right.
So let's see. Who would you share your last slice of birthday cake with? Like it's the last piece of the favorite dessert birthday cake, and you have to share it with someone. Who?
Anyone.
Anyone.
Probably my mom.
Cute.
Probably my mom. Yeah, no, my mom will not be happy if I share with anyone else. So.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I do like true life events. So I enjoy Axel Reach. Is one of the movies that stand out. But to think of one now, I'm not entirely sure.
Your top
So,
3.
Top 3, I must say Axel Reach. We Were Soldiers by Mel Gibson.
Okay, so
Also,
army movies.
Yeah, no, my dad put that in my brain, army movies. And then just to jump a bit of the genre, I've also enjoyed Interstellar,
Oh, there we go. So army and galaxy,
sci-fi, yeah.
sci-fi vibes. And then outside rugby, what are your talents?
I enjoy my golf. Wouldn't say that's a talent.
I was about that. Is it a talent?
No. But I enjoy my golf. Also enjoy playing like online Xbox games with
Is
my
that a
brother.
talent though?
Axel said it's a talent. It takes long hours of hard grafting.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A talented inside centre who plays games off the field as well. David, thank you very much. Good luck. Yay!
Bring 'n bietjie humor.